let's start at the end, essentially. So it is now Wednesday. So headed to the hotel later tonight, and shit's getting real. Now is to say crunch time isn't even really accurate. Crunch time was 2 months ago. Now is just more end game kind of situation. Like if I wasn't ready now, let's just say I wouldn't be. You know, that would be the end of it. But let me kind of just break this down. So, what am I going to eat from now on Thursday going forward into Friday to get essentially as carbed up and full as possible without looking like trash, you know? So what I need to do is leverage tons of carbs, moderate sodium, minimal fats, pretty much minimal protein as well. So today is kind of a lower calorie day. I've already drank a gallon of water. I'm going to drink another gallon. I'm going to have another gallon. So what, today, it's almost 1 o'clock. I'll probably have drank 3 gallons by about 6. So from 6 o'clock onward until tomorrow morning at 10, no water, no nothing. I mean, I can maybe have like a little bit of something or other. But the point there is to deplete my kind of like, you know, in between the skin and the muscle layer of water, that subcutaneous water layer. So phase 1 is essentially drying out a bit. You know, I'm not doing anything too crazy. Like, I don't have to sweat in a sauna or lose 7 pounds the morning of weigh-ins like I did last time to make weight. Right? Because for, you know, a pro show, my weight is now 10 pounds heavier than it was as an amateur. So all I have to do is pull my water and I'll be good. But what I'm looking for now is some freaking rice cakes. So how about we, actually, let's find some rice cakes first before we start branching out into everything else. Alright, I think I'm honing in on them. This grocery store has kind of revamped, which is good, but now I don't really remember where everything is, and every time I come in, I end up just getting like completely disoriented. But yeah, first on the list, rice cakes. So I would like to see, let's see, where do we go? Yeah, unsalted first. So I think, yeah, these will be good. So 8 grams of carbs per. So this whole sleeve is going to have, what is that, 8 times 4, 112. Yeah, let's do 3 of these. So 3 sleeves of unsalted rice cakes to start. I may not end up eating all of these, but this would be a good chunk. So this is going to put me down for about 330 grams of carbs in the cart. And now to add on to it, let's go a little bit sweeter and grab some apple cinnamon and caramel. So the reason I'm going to grab these and not, sodium 0, sodium 25 milligrams each. Yeah, well within reason. But the reason I'm going to grab these and not grab a sleeve of the chocolate rice cakes here is because these are a little, 1 gram of fat per. I mean, if I eat this whole sleeve, it's going to be an extra 10 grams of fats. I'm really trying to leverage just the carb side of things. So I think we'll put this right over here. But I'm not going to be eating these rice cakes plain. These, I really get to kind of indulge my sweet tooth here. So let's turn around and grab what's going to be kind of coupled with these. Yeah, here we go. This is what I'm looking for. Cereal, peanut butter, and jellies. So the peanut butter, not so much. This would be perfect. A little tub of maple syrup. Very solid. Now where's what I'm really looking for? Yeah, here we go. So this is a very different sensation than what I've been doing the last few months. I haven't really even been doing much because it's like I feel like I'm just teasing myself by having the sugar-free version of these jellies or jams and things. So I haven't really been hitting my sweet tooth that hard over these last few months. So it was pretty surreal. The first rice cake that I ate last show with full sugar grape jelly and everything was like nuts. It was like the enjoyment level compared to what I'd normally expect was like completely off the freaking charts. So yeah, this will do me good here. I'd say let's do 1 container of grape, 1 container of strawberry. I think that's about all she wrote for the jellies. So let's grab what's next. I gotta check my list. I don't even remember. There we go. Yeah, I've already got a good amount of instant oats at the house, and those are solid. You know, I'm not gonna eat like more than maybe a few 100 grams of carbs worth of those. I really would not mind. Actually, yeah. I'm looking at the cereal aisle. Where's the most infamous box of them all? Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, this would certainly not upset me to slam, but it's like, what am I supposed to do? Eat it plain? I'm not going to carb up with cereal and milk, so that's not really going to work. I guess we'll save this for kind of post-show dieting. So, honestly, with the amount of instant oats that I already have, plus the amount of cream of rice that I've already got, added with all these rice cakes, jelly, maple syrup, and everything, we're getting close. I mean, this is getting, of course, I might get some extra food at the hotel to kind of supplement in case I don't get enough here. For my last show, I had this grocery cart like double filled. So I had like 3 times as many rice cakes, 2 things of jelly each. Like, that was a little bit too much. So I don't have to go completely wild this time, because I barely even broke into that whole pile. Like, I don't need to overstock the hotel room. But let's go grab some just some treats that I've really been waiting for. And actually, shit, look at that, we're right there. Nah, these are like individual servings. Let's go back to the candy aisle. All right, I have been waiting for this moment for quite a freaking while. So, could I destroy this container of 6 full-size Reese's cups? Yes, but right, don't forget we're leaning carb heavy. Anything kind of chocolatey, peanut buttery, I mean, it's just so high in fats. It's like that's just not the point, you know. It's called carbing up, not yeah, it's not called fattening up. So we'll save that for later. That's going to be more so for post-show. But yeah, I mean, there's certainly no issue, I feel, with a good chunk of simple sugars, because my ratio carb-wise is going to be probably about 70-30, where I'd say 70 would be what you'd conventionally call more standard foods of carbs, of like these rice cakes and the cream of rice I've got and the oatmeal, and then that other 30% more like these jellies and, you know, maple syrup, and then a couple of these sweets. I'm gonna stick a little simpler, so I'm not gonna grab like, yeah, Nerds gummy clusters. I mean, these are good, but I don't want anything really super sour and acidic, because that'll kind of just throw my stomach off. You know, like that's no good for anybody. Definitely no good for freaking me. So I think I'll just grab a couple of bags of things. Of course, all the carbs that I end up eating tomorrow, I am going to track, I am going to weigh, so that I know like basically how many I've had so far. And I'm going to kind of gauge visually how are those carbs being distributed, right? So let's say, so check-ins are at 10. So as soon as I get off the scale and, you know, I'm under my weight cap, 227, they make sure my height's, you know, heighted in right, well, then I got free range. I can get as heavy as I freaking want. So I think I'll definitely bring a couple of these little snacks with me. Oh, I'm getting too excited about it. Today is not the day for any of this. The rest of today is actually a lighter calorie day to kind of, deplete and almost, let's just say, empty the tank before really filling it up. So as soon as I get home and bag all this up, I'm just going to put it straight into my suitcase so I don't even get to think about it. But yeah, let's see here. Certainly would not mind a mini Starburst will do me good. A Haribo Golden Bear will do me quite good. And I might not even eat all these, honestly. These are just kind of like, feels good to have. It feels very good to freaking have. Yeah, freaking little kind of Twizzler, whatever. And then let's do one more. What am I missing? A Mike and Ike. Where? Oh, that's a freaking big ass bag. I'm gonna have some. This is certainly a treats trip. I'm not so certain I need 1.8 pounds of Mike and Ike's. I think that's a little bit overkill. Maybe 0.25 pounds of Mike and Ike's would have been a little bit better. But yeah, I think that's about as many straight up sweets as I need to kind of prepare. So let me go grab one more kind of secret ingredient, then we'll be all done. There we go. All right, now the last thing that I'm going to throw into the mix is going to be a fruit-only sorbet. Sherbet, sorbet, gelato, whatever. Just, I'm looking for a pint of maybe 90 or 110 grams of carbs and nothing else. So I'm not sure exactly which one. I'm gonna need to scan for a minute. Yeah, there we go. This is exactly what I'm looking for. 2 little pints, 111 grams of carbs per container. No fats, no proteins, ingredients, water, sugar, raspberry puree. That is freaking perfect. So apart from, let's just call it the highly processed, kind of corn syrup of some of these kind of straight up candies, I'm kind of hitting my carb intake from multiple angles, which, as far as have been, let's just say, kind of, I don't want to say taught, but from my understanding of carbing up, which I've got a pretty decent one of, at least slightly, having a good variety of carb sources isn't gonna hurt. I probably wouldn't want to just sit and only eat 13 sleeves of rice cakes, because as much as you could say there's carbs are carbs, there's still different types, right? I mean, you've got regular like glucose and sucrose and fucking fructose and blah blah whatever. So especially with the sorbet and then the powdered, or not the powder, but the sorbet and the maple syrup and then the rice cakes and then the oatmeal, I'm kind of just hitting myself from all angles and making sure I can kind of, I don't want to say maximize my absorption, because obviously, all these calories are going to be put where they kind of belong, but it just kind of adds variability, So I'm, I know it's kind of, it sounds very silly to kind of justify the, throwing in a bunch of treats and things like that, but I think this is kind of the best example of just the fact that a lot of people's regular understanding of what even happens when you eat food isn't always exactly so black and white, right? I mean, if you look at a regular, or just imagine eating this every day, this entire thing of just, I don't even know how many grams of carbs are in the cart right now. Well, yeah, obviously you're going to start gaining fat. I don't know anybody who could eat this and not gain body fat, at least in this amount. But given that my situation right now is carb depleted, low glycogen stores, well, going forward tomorrow, with all these extra carbs, being intaken, or however that word would be properly pronounced, it's not just going to convert magically into body fat. First, all my glycogen stores across my build are going to fill up and freaking swell. So the intended result, which I think is gonna, be the actual result, but we'll see. You never know for sure. Is I'm gonna end up waking up Friday morning feeling like a beast, carved up, veined out of my mind, tan, and then just ready to step on stage. So yeah, it's been a while, but I am very happy about a freaking treats only grocery trip. So I'm gonna get home, get all my stuff packed up, head down to Columbus, and then I'll see you tomorrow. 2 days freaking out.